Step into the time machine where the 80s movies gleam, a decade of dreams. Let's dive into the theme. Back to the future, where the DeLorean flies, with Marty and Doc Brown reaching for the skies. Oh, the 80s, in the movies we'd flee. From Ghostbusters to Goonies, it's where we want to be. We're dancing in the dark, with our hearts so free. In the land of 80s cinema, where we all agree. Ghostbusters on the scene, with their proton packs, chasing down ghosts in New York's urban tracks. Who you gonna call? That's the iconic line. When supernatural troubles on your mind. The Goonies had a quest in Astoria's best, finding treasure and friendship in a kid's protest. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a day to remember. Skipping school with Cameron in September. Oh, the 80s, in the movies we'd flee. From Ghostbusters to Goonies, it's where we want to be. We're dancing in the dark, with our hearts so free. In the land of 80s cinema, where we all agree. Top Gun's high fly, with Mavericks dare, risking life and limb in the air so rare. The Breakfast Club, where detention was key. 5 different worlds in one.
Let's go, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Uncommon Podcast. It's our 161st live stream. Happy Aloha Friday. Happy New Year. It is 2025. Let's go, guys. Dee, how are you?
I'm good. Happy Aloha Friday to you. Happy Aloha Friday to everyone in the chat and everyone watching, listening, and to our guest co-hosts and our special guest. Yeah, I'm very excited today to be speaking with one of the co-founders of a very innovative and always evolving NFT/Web3 project in the space. So yeah, it's a very exciting day to start off our New Year's. Let's go!
Yeah, super excited. It's one of the sleeper projects, in our opinion, that Dee and I are just falling in love with. The community has just been phenomenal. They pretty much welcomed us with open arms. So we're really stoked to talk with them today. We also have a few community members in the studio as well. We have Bones B from Bones B NFT. He is also a beast holder. We have Mission, who is a long-standing beast holder. It's my understanding he has a tattoo. Pause. Either he's going to show it to us or not, depending on where he has it. And then we also have Video Shane, who is one of the moderators for McFarlane Toys Digital, who's also a fan of the project as well. So we have 3 community members in the studio, along with Rafsby, and we are going to kind of do a similar interview that we did last week, where we're going to have a nice conversation and just kind of have it very organic. But Dee, house rules before we go.
So house rules. So yeah, everyone is welcome here to the podcast. This is a community podcast made for the community, by the community. And just like when you visit us here at our home, we like to be mindful and respectful of everybody. So as long as we're all playing nice, nobody's acting like a dick, we should be good to go. And and just have a good time and just talk story with our guests. So yeah. I'm excited.
One more thing, Dee, kind of explain to the audience in the back room that's new for us. I know we might have some a Kid Called Beast community members have never seen our channel before. Kind of give them an idea why the show's called Aloha Friday.
Oh, thank you for asking. So here in Hawaii, after a long week of working, we call it Aloha Friday. where we have pauhanas, which is like, when 5 o'clock starts, you grab a drink, you just take off your shoes, take off your slippers, and just hang out in your living room, in your backyard, or go down to the beach and just, hang out and talk story with your family and friends, and just ease yourself into the weekend. So yeah, we just like to be nice and chill, and just like you're talking with us here on your couch virtually.
Exactly. But instead of our couch, we're going to go into our virtual studio. But how about we get into the studio right now, T?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the co-founder of A Kid Called Beast, Rafsby.
What's going on?
Hello. Hey, Rafsby. Happy Aloha Friday. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Glad it's Friday. Made it to the end of the week.
Ooh, I know.
Everybody got any big plans?
Hmm.
I mean, y'all are in Hawaii, so y'all have.
Well, right now, our biggest plan right now is to talk
To
story
talk
with
to
you,
you.
man. After
Yeah.
that, it's kind of like it's a crapshoot after that. But like, as for 2025, yeah, we got some really big plans, and we can kind of get into that a little bit later. But it's really good to see you, man. How are you doing today? How's your New Year's been?
So far, so good. I realize I'm a bit of a workaholic because I haven't really taken any time to myself yet since the New Year started. So hopefully get to do that this weekend. Be the first time I take a break in a little while. So excited for that.
Nice.
But I also love what I do. Like the work is very, very rewarding, very, very exciting, and just building the dream. Right, got a lot of supportive community members, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can really, really toe on that. I'm a workaholic myself. My grandpa has always told me, like, either you're gonna work or you're gonna be bored. So it's kind of
Totally.
how I've always been. And I just love to create things. So like, I get lost
Same.
in my work. I don't know about you, but I get lost in my work.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Hours
you
just
guys
fly. Hours just fly, and you're like, holy crap, the sun's coming up. Yeah, crawl into bed. My wife's waking up, and I'm going to bed. it's a often recurring theme.
So
That sounds
basically,
familiar
your
with
wife
Milano.
and well, it sounds like your wife and Dee can relate because I have the similar feelings there. But
Yeah.
Rafsby, before we get a little farther, I also want to introduce the people that are on the panel. We have Mission, Bones B NFT, and also Video Shane. Guys, thank you for joining us today to kind of hang out. We have Rafsby for about an
The
hour.
Beast
So we're gonna
homies.
kind of like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Beast homies.
The
Yes,
Beast homies.
Beast fan.
Beast mode. We're in beast mode.
Yeah.
Although we're trying to get Shane into the Beast family.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens at the very end.
I'm saving up. I'm saving up.
But guys, so basically we're just going to have a nice organic conversation with the Beast family, and we're just going to go one-to-one. But I kind of want to start off the conversation first. We're hitting off 2025 with a bang right now, but I kind of want to start at the beginning, Rafsby, if it's okay. I kind of want to know the origin of A Kid Called Beast. Kind of give us the background on the conception of the Beast itself, the culture, the project, and take us back to the beginning. Tell us the story of how the project first started, man.
Yeah, so pretty much like I was in a stage myself where I was just like, dabbling in crypto, looking at different things, buying different NFTs. I'll give you my perspective, right? Because everybody has their own perspective on it from their own story. I was like at a point where I was just like, I was basically retired. I was just like buying things, trying things out. I made a lot of money during COVID trading gold and foreign exchange. It was a really, really good time to trade. I was in a situation where I was just kind of like, I'd been traveling for like 3 years straight, just trading and just kind of seeing the world. And honestly, it was like at a point where I was like kind of like homesick, bored, wanted to work on something new. Like perfect timing. Ran into Nick and Caleb, my other co-founders, and we started brainstorming this idea about like creating this like art project. It started off as just like a 3D art project. We had this, we wanted to create this kind of like cool character that was like an embodiment of like all our kind of childhood heroes. Like the Bart Simpson, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, like this Mickey Mouse, like ultra character that was like very inclusive of everybody. Because like a lot of those characters are just like in some ways one-dimensional. or like you can't embody them or personify them, like depending on what your origin story is yourself. So we wanted to kind of conceptualize this a really cool character. We want it to be like kid teenage type character because like kid teenage curiosity, like as long as you have a kid in you, your curiosity and your creativity will never die, right? And yeah, we got to work. We wanted to have like a ski mask because we thought ski mask was just like a cool urban kind of hype thing that we wanted to do at the time, and it worked really well with Web3 because anonymity, cryptocurrency, being able to like be behind a mask online, I guess, made a lot of sense, for us. And then it also, created enough mystery in the character that anybody under the mask could, embody that character, right? Like, if you don't know what Spider-Man looks like under the mask, it could be anybody, right? It's the same kind of concept. So yeah, so we got to work. We started conceptualizing, characters, ideas, different types of things we wanted to do. We had this augmented reality thing that we were going to start with because we hadn't seen anybody really doing anything like that. A way to display your 3D model, your character, because typically up until that point, it was mostly just like JPEGs that didn't do anything. They're static. And so like we felt that was kind of like inhibiting and limiting. We wanted to do something that was a little bit more like a way to show off your art because everyone's showing off their PFPs. Everyone's posting their PFPs on their timelines. Why not be able to show off what you have in 3D in different places around the world? So that's where the AR kind of came to be, and it was like a way for people to display what they had, flex what they had. So that was kind of like the original idea. We started off, just a lot of it was just like testing things, trying things out. Like getting the character right took a while. We found a extraordinary artist, Mr. Cat, helped us bring the character design to life. We all worked as a team with him leading the design. We the team expanded. We started building a bigger and bigger community. Taking feedback from the community the entire way to get the collection looking just right, getting the characters looking just right, getting all the different traits from the community. We had to put a cap on it at 1,600 traits because it was like they just kept coming in. Everyone just had ideas, and we're like, we're never going to launch if we don't just like say, okay, we got enough traits. But yeah, it was a whirlwind. It's like from almost 3 years, like we built it for a year, and then it's been 2 years of actually like post launch. It flew by fast, and we've been like nonstop busy the entire time.
That's awesome. So can we kind of like go a little bit further into this? So because we're on 3 years, right? Can you kind of like let us know what was the first drop day like? Like maybe give us like a play-by-play.
Man,
like the first time a Kid Called Beast came online, your first take, the lessons you've learned, and the improvements you guys have made for today.
Yeah, for sure. Because like, so like, first NFT project, obviously, right? It comes with hurdles and lessons learned every single time. I don't care, what kind of experience or preparations you make. You're gonna run into issues. Everybody does. But like no excuse, we made some fumbles for sure. Like I acknowledge that 100%. I own it. I battled with it like personally for a really long time. Like I beat myself up over it for years. It's like pretty much to this day, I still feel like I'm getting over it. Let's just say that. But we took the best advice we could get from all the experts around us. We did what we thought we could. I mean, the community is still very, very strong. So like, we made some mistakes, but like we also did the right thing, I think, in a lot of ways, because the people who were meant to stuck around, right? We upset a lot of people that wanted to flip on us for sure. Like money is a thing people get very upset over, right? If you lose an opportunity to make money, you get pissed off, right? You get upset. You take it out on people. Like that's what a lot of people do, especially if they're really hurting for money, right? So understandably, like we had people pretty pissed off at us for like missing out on the mint. But yeah, we had a lot of issues starting out. Since then, everything we've launched has gone very, very smooth, and like those lessons were ones we took and we're going to take for the rest of our lives. But starting out, it was super rocky. We had the initial mint, fumble. It got our servers got overloaded. People were literally physically not able to mint, so we had to go back to the drawing board, upgrade our servers. Making a few changes, decide what we're going to do with the remaining mint that didn't get minted out on day one. We prioritize them to people who are like diehard dedicated to the community, and so we made that decision. That upset a lot of people, obviously, but once the mint went out. You know, it was pretty smooth overall. You know, we had our Twitter account compromised, which is really, really terrible. We had to do like a whole refund thing where we gave people back like assets worth like 5-10x what they had lost, which really affected our floor price, because obviously when people get something that's 5-10 times more than they lost, they're going to sell it and they're like, woohoo, I'm ahead now, you know? So we I mean, like a lot of people told us it wasn't the right idea to do something like that, but like in our consciousness, like it was the right thing to do. You know, people were at a loss because like, you know, our account got compromised. We realized after the fact that like lots of accounts got compromised. There's nothing you can do. It was just like an internal thing. But like, even still, like I feel good about what we did. We gave away over $1 million worth of NFTs for like only $100,000 compromise. It wasn't even 100,000, like 50,000, something like that. Whatever the amount, still significant. People got their, you know, assets back and then some, so they came out ahead. So I feel good about that. Yeah, but overall, like what I'm trying to say is super, super rocky, mistake after mistake. You know, we did our best to patch things up, and then new things that happened. I was at my only little sister's wedding when this was all happening too. So it was like super stressful.
Yeah.
Like I was basically like, I just locked myself in the hotel room and I was just like on Spaces, just keeping people calm and just like, you know, like I think I went in a pool once, and I was on my phone in the pool, like just like in Spaces, just like trying to like manage the situation. It was
Take
like
care of your shit.
so stressful. And like, yeah, like even the photos from my sister's wedding, I have like this beard I didn't even shave. It was like terrible stuff. So she'll probably never forgive me for that. But like, you know, yeah, it's been we're doing a redo pretty soon, like where I'm just gonna like be present and be, you know, be involved in my family's life for these like, you know, moments, because yeah, but it was like one of those things. It was like you only get, I mean, I guess hopefully my sister only gets married once, but you only get one shot to do a mint right, and you know, keep people's trust, keep people, you know, believing in, you know, in you, right? Like not giving up on you. So like I felt it was a sacrifice that was necessary, because like this is something I'm planning to do for a very long time. The whole team, you know, is planning to do this for a very long time. So, you know, a sacrifice had to get made, unfortunately. You know, my sister understood, you know, she knows how passionate I am about projects I get into. So I'm pretty sure she forgave me. But yeah, it was a rocky start. But since that point, you know, we learned a lot. We learned about, you know, our procedures and processes. Our security game has been, you know, better than ever, knock on wood. You know, we partnered with a lot of, you know, good security companies. You know, Wallet Guard is one of them. They you know, really helped us out and helped, you know, keep our community safe. You know, just changing our processes, our procedures, making sure that like nobody has access to anything unless it's like a core team. Yeah, it was tough lessons all around. But like since that point, you know, we've built some amazing things, like a lot of really good you know, solutions for the characters, for 3D models, you know, apparel. Everything's like tech enabled that we're building. We're building a multiplayer game now. Building toys are coming out very soon, which we've been working on for a very long time. And when they're at a point where like I'm actually pretty confident that we've created, like, not to toot our own horn, but I'm pretty confident we created like one of the world's best art toys. Like from everything from the features to the quality to the packaging to the unboxing experience to the collectability to the tech behind it. I think that we've actually built like one of the world's best art toys, period, like ever to come out. And I'm really excited for that to launch. We're like less than 60 days away, like probably like 40, 45, give or take. We're just waiting on our final samples from our steel and mold. And yeah, and then we basically hit okay and we go into mass production. So very, very exciting. Something we've been working on for like over a year, getting it right, just like taking all the details and like making sure that we create, you know, the best possible experience. And we can dive into like the individual elements and things that we're working on in more depth. But yeah, this is kind of like, I guess, an overview, I guess, a fast track for anybody who doesn't know much about the project.
Yeah, and I know a lot of these guys, they want to really dive into exactly what you just described, but I kind of wanted to go to the past just to kind of like give the
Yeah.
audience that don't really know what happened an idea, because I got to tell you right now, the project now is an experience, or that's the way that I rate it. It's an experience from the website, which is polished, to basically the gameplay that you guys are planning on doing, because I've been seeing the snippets that you've been doing. You've been playing Robin Hood with the Bit Beast. I've seen people actually, entering the project that way. And so it's a beautiful thing right there. Like I said, we are big fans of the project, and I'm going to let some of these other fans start asking you some questions. So I'm going to go down the line. We're going to start with Mission. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, man. Thank you for having me. Rafsby, I did have a question. I was there on Mint. I've been here in the community since day one. Of course, I love the project. The minute I saw it before it was even launched, I gravitated to the artwork. I thought it was amazing. So I actually tattooed it on myself.
I remember that.
Let's see it.
Dedicated.
Let's see it.
So,
But where is
it's
it?
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
on my
okay.
head. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Let me,
Nice.
hold on. Here we go. Here. Wait. Show it again. Yeah.
So this is
Wow.
my beast. It's
Oh, there
kind
you
of ashy. Excuse my ashiness, but yeah, this is.
No, it's a sick tattoo.
when
I
I
think the
first-
design's cool. Really cool interpretation of it too.
Yeah, when
That's
I
the thing
first
too. I
saw it,
love.
was like,
I love the way, like, so not to cut you off. I definitely want you to tell your story, but just the one thing I just want to say is like this character, I think, is like so special because like you can interpret it in your own way in so many different ways, and you can still tell that it's this character. You're not going to confuse it for a different character. You're not going to say like, oh, this is some animal, right? Which you can confuse with another version of the animal. Like you can tell that this character is this character, whether it's pixelated, it's like done a comic book style, anime style, 3D style. Like I love seeing it. Every interpretation of it just makes it, better and more special. Sorry, go on.
but yeah, I just think that the art, just like you just stated, that it's such a unique piece of art that it's nothing out there like it. So I came in and luckily I got a mint spot, so I was very happy with that. So since then I picked up quite a few more along the way, and I'm here for the long term. I've held every single beast and bit beast that I brought thus far. I haven't sold anything, so I'm here for the long ride. But with that being said, I did have a couple of questions for you, Rafsby, to kind of encapsulate on the vision going forward. Like, what vision do you see as far as the kid called Bees in the next, let's say, 5 years of partnering with, like, are there any plans to partner with like major retail brands to bring a kid called Bees to the physical realm, like department stores or something like that? And what is your take on partnering with some of the major retailers?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, a lot of people, obviously there's a big brand out there, a big NFT brand that, kind of set the stage for like, what's possible with NFTs and like what they want to do. And everybody has kind of a different route, right? Like obviously Pudgy Penguins, that's the obvious one, the only one I've seen go into retail. They've done an outstanding job, and their vision is like bring this character to the masses in every way possible, and they're doing a fantastic job at that. I love the Pudgy Penguins. They got billions of views on Jiffy on all their memes, super viral. A really poppin' Instagram, really poppin' social community, and they partnered with a fantastic distributor to be able to get their toys into Walmarts and Targets and department stores worldwide. As much as I would also be able to love to do something like that with a kid called Beast, we're definitely going for a bit of a different angle. We're not at this stage trying to go for like a mass kind of mainstream appeal. Like our core and our identity behind what we want to create was like something specifically for like a certain type of collector, somebody who's like really into music, into fashion, into art, into creativity. Um, in like I guess a bit of a different way, like our origin story, like a Kid Called Beast. So the name Kid Called Beast comes from a combination of Kid Cudi's mixtape, A Kid Named Cudi, and the word hype beast, and kind of like fusing these kind of two ideas and concepts together, where it's something that is cool and unique. Hype, it's into, I mean, if you look at the character's traits, like it's very fashion forward, very fashion orientated. There's got that cause inspiration, like KAWS. Anybody who like knows those toys.
Yeah.
It's got a hip hop influence. It's got a techno influence. It's got like a lot of modern influences. It's very worldly. It's international. It's fluid in terms of like identity, or what, like it can personify basically anybody out there. We wanted something that was like built for, I guess, creators, like a little bit more of like, I want to say like a bit of an underground movement, an underdog, if you will. And so like we want to continue building in kind of an indie way for now. We want to be able to establish really strong community roots, people that are there who personify and believe in the underdog story, because everybody's got one, I think, who's in the community. They want to see the little guy win. Like we don't have plans to go sell out or get take investment from like a large corporation or anything at this stage, or anybody that's going to like push what we have to do at which speed. We want to do like really high quality things. We want to find our groove. Like, for example, like the toys, we could have released toys a year ago. They would have been toys that feel like they were created a year ago, right? The quality wouldn't have been there. It would have been rushed, and that would have been echoed what our deliverables look like from that point in time. How we want to do things is we want to definitely take more time with them. We want to be more boutique-y. We want to establish like what our tier of quality is, and then figure out what that looks like, how people react to it, if they're happy with it, if there's improvements to be made. And once we kind of establish our tier in terms of everything we want to do, whether it's our toys, our clothes, our apparel, our accessories, our game, at that point we're going to figure out okay, how do we scale from here? Like, now that we have the formula, now that we know what our tier of deliverables is, we'll determine what kind of scale we want to go to, whether we want to do a mainstream play, whether we want to do whether we want to seek investment, whether we want to do all these different things. So at this stage, we're just kind of like establishing our deliverables, establishing our quality, demonstrating that we can build in a superior way, not only to what others are doing, but to what's out there already available to people, right? Anybody who's like picked up any of the clothes, the merch, the accessories, it's not the same as the other stuff out there. We put a lot more care and quality into it. We're not making clothes on blanks. We're doing cut and sew the same way huge designer fashion houses do, and we're delivering them to people in a lot of cases for free, based off just holding the project, which is nobody does that in NFTs. Same with the toy. The toy for almost every claim has been a free deliverable. It's something you got to claim for free, and it's pay shipping. You get a luxury art toy delivered to you. Nobody's done that before. So we're trying to do things different. We're trying to do things in a kind of a grassroots way, in a way that establishes really, really strong community and really strong support. And we want to see what everybody thinks in the community. What do you think of the quality of what we're doing? How does it make you feel? What can we improve? And once we establish that, we're going to determine, okay, how do we take this further? How do we, bring on more community members? How do we turn this into, a global brand, right? I mean, we're already, a global brand by any sense of the word. We're just not like a mainstream global brand yet. And that's fine, because the way we're building, I think, is like, it's really concrete. We're very conservative with funds spent. So we're not like going on spending sprees, throwing like lavish parties. We're putting every dollar towards building, high quality items and hiring, the best talent we're able to find. So I think, like, first and foremost, making sure that what we're doing is sustainable. We're not going too big, too quick. We're making sure that everything we do is quality, and making sure that everybody's happy with what we're doing, so that we're not like, like a flash in a pan.
Yeah, I love what you're saying about all that, and it's based, it's for the community that you built and are still trying to, grow. And I love that you guys are not just rushing to push stuff out just to get stuff out there and people to buy your shit and then, make money for yourself. I mean, that's what we want to do, but I love that you're taking time, you're cooking in the background. You put out these sneak peeks for us on X and like making us like hyped about it. So when you do like announce the full completed thing, it's like it's going to be even more amazing. So just hats off to you guys, for doing
Thank
that.
you. Yeah, no, we're not like on any schedule, like to just like rush stuff out the door. Like that's the beauty of this. This is a passion project first and foremost. Like I said earlier, like I was retired before I started this, so there's no hurry to do anything to like make a bunch of money. I already have a bunch of money. Like that doesn't make me happy. It doesn't do anything for me. Like once you, like anybody who's made money knows that. Like once you have enough money, like making more money doesn't make you much more happy. Like if you have enough for everything you need, like for your family, for the things you like, to be able to eat good food, I guess, like kind of run out of stuff to buy once you have enough money anyways. Like it's like I'm very fortunate to be in a situation, and I wasn't always this way. I grew up very, very poor. I grew up in government funded housing. So like I'm an immigrant, right? I'm not a first generation person living in Canada. My parents immigrated from Poland and Italy, and I grew up very, very poor. So like very fortunate to be where I am right now. But what I'm doing here is like purely like everything I wanted to do as a kid, like that I never could afford to do, never was able to do. Like this is for me, it's living a childhood dream. For the rest of the team members, it's living a childhood dream. We're big kids inside. Like we want to just build cool stuff that like didn't exist when we were kids, that we wish existed when we were kids, And so through that process, we're going to take our time, and yeah, it's 100% pure passion. Like otherwise, like there's no way in hell I would work. Like I worked 15 hours on January 1st, 15 hours straight. There's no way in hell I would work 15 hours for anybody at any job, any situation, trading gold, like nothing I would do that I work 15 hours straight on. I've never done that before. Kid Called Beast is like a good reason to, because like we're building something that we think is going to be around for a really long time, something that we really are passionate about, something that no one can take away from us. Like we're just we're having a lot of fun with it. And so like we're taking our time with everything we build. So like once we give it the okay, once it's good enough for us, like it's good enough for me, it's good enough for Caleb, it's good enough for Nick, it's good enough for everybody on the team, it's good enough for my wife. Elle, like I show her everything. Like she's like my biggest like cheerleader and also critic at the same time. So like I show her everything I'm trying to do. I'm like, what can I do to make this better? And she always gives me the best advice. And once it's like at a tier where we're like we all okay something that we want to release, then it gets released. And so like that's going to be the process for until we decide we were like, okay, let's take this to the next level. We kind of hit our max in terms of like whatever's possible, I guess, on Twitter or X. We want to take this to a further level. A lot of people don't realize we have 171,000 followers on Instagram, right? And none of those people know that we even have an NFT. Like maybe like 0.1% of those people know that we're an NFT project. So like we've been just cooking that, building that up as like a Web 2 play, and just like when the time comes, those people are going to learn about what an NFT is in a good way for the first time and realize that an NFT isn't a rug. It's not a JPEG. It's not a piece of shit pump and dump. It's something serious. It's something that you can do a lot with. It's very cool tech. It's tech that you can use to verify physical items. It's a community. It's a 3D asset. It's something you can use to expand your creativity, to educate yourself, to be protected from people that are not involved in the same thing as you. Like there's a lot of good use cases for Web3 beyond a JPEG and a pump and dump thing that works the same way as a stock or a coin, right?
Yeah.
And so when those people get a virgin education on that kind of stuff without having been part of 5 or 10 or 20 different NFT projects where 90% of them have been rugs, and they're paranoid as hell to invest in anything else ever again, their first experience with an NFT will be a good one. And at that point, think about if, let's say, the very first NFT project that you ever joined was a good experience, you probably aren't going to be someone that's like online with paranoia, dumping assets. You're probably going to hang on to that for a really long time. So like if you can establish, a community of people that are really serious, understand what it is, haven't been jaded before, I think you set yourself up to have the best holders on the planet. And so we're trying to, working that way where we build it and establish a really good community, and then when the time's right, we'll be able to do a really good education on what is an NFT project to those 171,000. It'll probably be 500,000 people by the end of the year, if not more, that can learn about a kid called Beast and the 10,000 Genesis collectibles and BitBeast collectibles, and like how they involve themselves in the creative community, how they involve themselves in the animation education. We get like probably about 100 messages a week on that Instagram account of people asking us how to learn animation and how to get involved in animation. So right there alone, oh my God, one sec, someone just trying to call me.
No worries.
There we go. So right there. So what I was trying to say is, if there's 100 people trying to message you, learn about animation a week, that's people right there that might want to get involved in the project, right? People that might want to learn about, what we're doing, what we're building, and, utilize the tutorials we have in our Kid Called Beast portal to learn how to animate themselves, right? That's right away. It's like a value add for those people to own the NFT, because they already want to do something and want to learn something that we already provide and already know how to do really well. So yeah, like I feel like, as we keep adding, value to our collectibles and what they offer and what they can do and what they're capable of, once we add the game into the mix, now having an NFT becomes a battle pass, and it offers you different things you can do in the game versus not having one, right? You can just, keep expanding, once you add the toy into the mix, anybody who just loves the aesthetic of the toy, which a lot of people do. A lot of people love the characters. We have 171,000 followers, like I said, on Instagram. And they interact with all of our videos. They love what they see. They love the characters. They're sharing the videos constantly. Being able to own something that you really like, whether it's a desk toy or greater functionality than that, like it becomes something great, something more, right? Like it's super fandom, right? It's the same way like any big character gets its origin, right? Like people fall in love with the character, and then they want to own the t-shirts, the clothes, the toys, the games. They want to get involved in that way. So I'm very excited about it. I'm really appreciative that we have people who don't know about the NFT just really resonating with the characters, and like that to me shows strength in the characters, strength in what we're building, because it's like there's no financial incentive for those people to support what we're doing. They just do it because they like what they see. Which is, I think, a really good demonstration of like how strong the IP is and how strong the character is and how strong the brand is. So like, yeah. And I mean, we started doing the Instagram like not that long ago. Like I wish we had started a lot earlier. But like, everything comes at the right time. I really believe in that.
And the character is very relatable. And I think that's why a lot of people
Totally.
kind of like gravitate to the character. And me specifically, like, it took me a while. So like everybody who looks for a beast, I'm sure they try to find the right trait for themselves. And so that was for me as well. But on top of that, when I found out there's an experience built on top of that. So you're right. I mean, if you don't know what the NFT is and you're just kind of going through the web 2.5 version of it, there's a huge experience that you guys are building on. And I agree with Suye right here. It's looking almost AAA type of quality. And so I know that Bones here, he's a big gamer, and so I kind of want to get his take on what you guys are doing with this experience that you guys are building. Bones, go ahead.
A Kid Called Beast, Rafsby, thanks for coming. A Kid Called Beast is
My pleasure.
A project that has it spills out utility. It is one of the biggest utility NFT projects I've ever seen. And it's funny because me and Hananu came into this project together randomly, so we've almost enjoyed this experience together. And the amount of things you could do with A Kid Called Beast, the community, one of the best communities, so supportive. Shout out to Mimi, the community manager, holding it down the Discord. Amazing. I just saw some a beast that was made, a physical beast from Mission, one of your rare beasts. I want to talk about that. But I'm a huge gamer.
Let me grab it.
About that.
There we go.
You have one?
Yeah, he just has one right there.
There we go.
Wow.
Oh,
that's cool.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we can see it right
that's
there.
Amazing.
Oh, that is so rad.
Love that.
Yeah, I love it. So this is
Looks
again
like
physicals, digitals, gaming. You could do it all. You have the files. Again, like Nano said, I am a huge gamer, and I've always wanted to join A Kid Called Beast. And I was playing in Nifty Island a lot. and I would always see the beast running around. And now I play as my bit beast all the time. I play as my beast all the time. And that's something I want to talk about too. I have probably 10 questions to ask you. We don't have a lot of time. I'm going to combine some questions because I could pick your brain for hours. This project is amazing, but the gaming. I want to know about the gaming. Yeah. I want to know about the functionality. I want to know about the interoperability. Is it just for the beasts? Is it for everyone? Can you get other NFT projects inside of it as well? And the hype now is tokens. Will there be possibly in the future a token airdrop for a kid called Beast? Will it be integrated into the game? Beast points. Will Beast points be integrated into the game? There's a lot to unpack there. I want to know about gaming.
For sure. Okay. So first things first, game. I've been a gamer for, I don't know, since I was like 3 years old. I remember I was like cracking games when I was like 6 or 7 years old to play like MS-DOS games like Wolfenstein and like Doom and stuff. It's going on Ware sites and like, cause I was broke as hell. Like I couldn't afford to pay for these games. So yeah, games been a huge part of my life for a very long time. Everybody on our team's, very avid gamers. They love games. We think games bring people together, and like even like during COVID, that was the proof that games were very, very important to society, right? Like that's how people kept sane. They maintained relationships with their friends, during lockdowns. Like that proved that games were like here to stay for sure, for good. So with games, we want to build something that is like, I mean, the current biggest game right now, I would say, is Fortnite. We want to build something that is like Fortnite with a Nintendo edge, with like a Ratchet and Clank edge, with like Splatoon edge. I think Fortnite is a fantastic game. I play Fortnite a lot. I love that game. But it's a little too violent, I would say, for like an all ages category. Like you got realistic assault rifles and stuff, and like I wouldn't give it to like a 7 or 8 year old kid to play and feel good about myself, So we're trying to create something that is like cartoony, slapstick, fun. It brings back that kind of Looney Tunes, old school Disney era, like a bit of that like Rubber Hose mixed with like that kind of Pixar-esque type of vibe, but still has those, multiplayer elements that people love, like, questing and like, team battles, free-for-alls, capture the flags, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like the game we're trying to build. Something that we know people will play, something we know there's a huge audience for, and something that we actually think doesn't have a lot of competition. There's only one game like Fortnite right now, which I think is really, really good. Because like, there's to me, that tells me that there's like still a huge potential to explore, more potential in that category. So with our game, we definitely want to have like a lot of integration with our NFTs. We haven't looked at integrating a lot of other projects right now, just because it's not really the focus of what we're trying to do. We're not necessarily trying to build like purely a Web3 game. There's already people doing a fantastic job of that, like Nifty Islands, like the ultimate like community bridger project, I would say. Like they've done a fantastic job. They're doing that well. Like that is their mission, is to create the ultimate Web3 gaming experience. What we're trying to do is build kind of like one at 2.5 realm, like where we build a game that is good enough for Web 2 first and foremost. Again, that's fun. Again, that's playable. And then adding in those Web3 features. And in a lot of ways, adding in those features in such a way that the people that are playing that game from Web 2, who don't even know about crypto, who aren't familiar with NFTs, don't even realize they're even using that technology as an underlying layer until, they're already deep in the game and they start discovering, all these extra functions that their other games they played don't have. Right. And so we're trying to take that kind of sleeper approach, the kind of back-end approach where, players who, if if you have an NFT, you can unlock those skins, you can unlock those battle passes, you can unlock these different functions and features. But if you don't know, you're not going to be like, oh my God, I have to make a crypto wallet. I have to do all this and that. I have to connect my MetaMask. Like that turns people off. If I was a first time, user of that, and my very first experience was I had to set up a MetaMask wallet and connect my wallet and put my credit card in to buy some stuff called Ethereum or some other like weird techie name and, do all this like crazy stuff and write down a seed phrase and get paranoid when I have to put it on a piece of paper or whatever and not lose it. Like that's a lot of weird steps to do just to play a game. And so, obviously there's solutions for that now to make sure people don't have to do that. But even still, like making it a crypto focused thing as the first priority is not, I think, the way to onboard gamers. I think making a fun game that is familiar to what people already play, where it's like, even email sign up, hook up your Gmail if you want to create a new account. It's that easy. you know, and you play the game. And if you don't care about the Web3 features or the crypto features or the NFT features, you don't have to, and you can still enjoy the game. So we're taking that kind of approach with the game. Now, as far as integrating other collections, you know, we've talked about it. We have, you know, some ideas for how to do it, but the biggest problem I find with like doing like, you know, compatibility with everybody's, you know, models, first and foremost, it's a lot of work, right? And it's a lot of work you have to commit, you know, team and resources to be able to integrate other people's collections if they're not ready to be game ready, right? If you know, start taking on collections, okay, now you build up a queue and you have to assign, you know, staff to work on, you know, these people's collections to integrate them into the game. Now, what happens if, like, let's say, you know, the founder of that project rugs, which happens all the time. You know, what happens if the founder of that project decides, well, all our characters are going to start, you know, drinking vodka or smoking weed or gambling or launching meme coins or doing any of this kind of stuff that's not in alignment with our brand. You know, creates kind of like the association and the correlation with our brand and our characters, right? Like if all of a sudden, like, you know, somebody decides, well, we're going to partner with a weed company, and now all our I don't know, I'm trying to think of an animal right now. Armadillos are now weed smoking armadillos because we are partnered with a weed brand. And now, you know, we've already integrated them in a game. Are we going to now take them out of the game for doing that and then causing, you know, thousands of people in that community to say that we're the worst game on the planet because we took their weed smoking armadillos out of our, you know, E for everyone game? It's just like a lot of stupid dynamics. And like, I've seen this stuff happen so many times where people like rally together and create hate that I don't even want to like nobody on our team wants to entertain any of that kind of stuff. Like if we do integrate projects, it'll be in a way where they have to sign an agreement that states that they will never, you know, involve themselves in stuff that can like tarnish the brand or brand reputation in any way. And it wouldn't subject people, you know, playing the game into like these kinds of activities, because we are trying to create that kind of Nintendo-esque vibe for people that, you know, to play the game. So you can play the game with your nephews, your nieces, your kids, and not feel like you're at a risk of like being exposed to like stuff that you might not want to expose your kids to, right? Like Nintendo doesn't have that problem with any of the Nintendo titles. Like you won't go into like Mario Party online or Mario Kart and run into people that are like, you know, coughing while, you know, doing like bong hits and like doing all sorts of like stuff like that online. Like they found a really good way to protect against that and like market towards people that aren't necessarily like into that. And there's nothing like wrong with that. Like people are free to do as they please, but just not what we're trying to do. We're going for like a different angle, and we want to be like a Disney friendly, Pixar friendly, like Universal Studios friendly brand. Like we don't want to be that, you know, that adult brand, because like there's enough of those already out there. In terms of token, you know, obviously I think like every dream of every you know, game right now, multiplayer game, would be to have, you know, the stuff you collect, the skins you collect, to be NFTs that you can trade in third-party markets on your own and be able to own those assets, and the coins you collect in game to be, you know, actual you know, currency, right? The biggest thing and the biggest hurdle, especially in the United States, is making these things legal. I've spoken to a few different project owners that have launched coins recently, and the biggest thing is nobody actually like truly knows what is legal, what isn't, because the regulation is very like kind of finicky. A lot of people have just taken the risk and they're kind of waiting to find out and waiting to see what happens. They've consulted with lawyers, and people who have, you know, told them that based on their understanding in the current laws and regulations that like they should be okay, but it's not like 100% confirmation. And like, there's still, you know, a very high risk factor, but their risk tolerance for themselves personally is that they're willing to take the risk. I myself, and like most of our team members, we're not huge risk takers. Like for that same reason, we're not huge gamblers at all. We like things that are like assured. We like things that like are like that we have confidence in, that we know what the outcome is going to be, just because like we're building this for the long term. So we don't want to do anything that will compromise the project for the long term, right? If we were to launch a coin, for example, and for any reason we missed, you know, any step in that launch process, and it led to us having a, you know, a huge fine, you know, we don't have $40 or $50 million in our treasury to be able to like, you know, go into court and battle for years. That would devastate us, right? So like, it's better to just avoid those risks completely until there's like assurance, until that we see that there's other people who you know, did it first and did it well, and we now know that this is the blueprint for how to do it correctly. So we're you know, obviously always watching, we're always looking to see, you know, who is successfully launching a coin, and then seeing what the aftermath of that is. Like, are they getting letters from the SEC 12 months later? Are they getting, notices 12 months later, and then they're, bottled up and locked up in court for the next, however long, and they have that, sustained cost because, lawyers take retainers, lawyers have, different monthly fees and things you have to do to pay for, which, those are funds that we could use for continuing to build the project and just wait until we know. There's so many different ways we could approach doing, integration of coins and different things into a game. Like, if, let's say, somebody from the community launched a coin and it was a successful coin and it happened to be the same, name as our project, or using words from our project's name, and we launched a game and we decided that we accept that coin as a form of currency in game, the same way we accept, credit cards, or the same way we accept, anything else. I mean, there's kind of a loophole there that would allow us to, have integration there without us being the one that are launching a security. So there's a lot of different alternate routes and things we can do, to avoid getting into trouble with, SEC and with different, government bodies when it comes to doing a game. We definitely want to be supportive of, currencies. We've already, got the Beast Points, which is kind of like our soft version of a currency to start building an economy that people will use with different things they can spend those points on. That's done with intent, and that's literally like demonstrating what would it look like if we had a coin today. Well, that's what Beast Points function is right now. Like, if we had a coin today, it would be exactly the same as if we, replaced that for Beast Points. And the only difference would be that the value of that point would be fluctuating up and down rapidly, which can be scary, right? Especially if there's things that people are signing up for, that they want to save up for as well. It's just too early. And we did everyone's going coin crazy, and we did this hilarious social experiment that we put on our X page with a little animation of a beast twiddling a coin between its fingers, and it was just and we just made this stupid little what do you call it, a little riddle kind of thing, and people went absolutely crazy over it and get super mad. Some of them you guys don't have the ability to do that, you're not $1 billion company. Of course we know that, but the fact that it creates such an uproar and a stir. It was one of the best little troll campaigns ever. It gave us almost 1 million person reach. A lot of people started talking about the project. The floor price it went up. People bought based off speculation, even though we didn't say, hey, we're launching a coin on this date, or we're launching a security, or here's what you got to do, even though you can't really do that stuff to US residents at all, period, anyways, according to a lot of the rules. We're just having fun with it and just kind of seeing playing into the metas. We're probably gonna do a lot more trolling now, especially too, based off how well that did. That was such a good experiment. We're gonna keep trying to piss off our haters and keep trying to get more love from our supporters. It's a fun process, and it really goes to show that people respond to hatred and anger and uncertainty in a way greater capacity than they do supporting somebody actually just building cool stuff. Every time. So and when I was trading gold, it was always the fear news was the best thing ever. You always look for that fear, because as soon as the fear dump happens, that's when you buy in, and you're pretty much in profit every single time. And COVID was the best example of fear mongering constantly. Every week there was some new fearful thing to worry about, and a combination of fear and war, and it was the perfect environment to just make a lot of money. And so yeah, we're just gonna keep building. Obviously, first and foremost, a fun game. That's number one. The game's already really fun, in its current state. We're gonna probably start bringing people into it very soon. We got a few more things we got to do. The island map that we built as our first map has been kind of a really good 2-in-1, because we're very tight with Nifty Island. They have a fantastic project, and we figured if we do an island as our first map, not only can the community use the 3D assets from the island in Nifty Island, to make a bunch of different things, but then it also gives a different gameplay mode for an island. So it's kind of it made sense to build stuff that people can use in more than one way. We're definitely not building anything similar to what Nifty Island's doing. They have a completely original concept of what a good multiplayer game is, and we support it. We're going to continue supporting it. We're going to be building asset packs that people can use in Nifty Island. We're also partnered with Metatope, one of the most awesome people we've ever worked with. These guys are just they're the founders, fantastic. everybody on the team is just awesome. Yeah, these guys are like really have been some of the best people we've met in Web3. And they're building, you know, a whole suite of games and like really cool technology. And we're like their guinea pig on anything they want to try. Like, you know, use it on us. We'll market it. We'll propel it. We'll get people using it. We'll test pilot it. So like figure out what to break, what to fix, and yeah, just experiment on us, because like we're all about like figuring out how to do cool tech things with the characters. And they've been like a really good. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I so actually, because you mentioned Beast Points, I just want to ask: will Beast Points be integrated into the game as well? Can you use your Beast Points?
Yeah. So that's like first and foremost. Like Beast Points is going to be like we might give them a name change at some point, but it's going to be like direct integration into the game. So like those points will be able to get spent in a lot of different ways, whether it's through asset packs that you can download and own and utilize, whether it's, you know, through animation processes, whether it's through skins. You know, the ideal world to me looks like you have these points that you can gain from just holding a beast, or you can gain them from playing the game. You can spend these points on, you know, different assets in game. Those assets are NFTs. Those NFTs you can sell on third-party marketplaces if you choose, or trade with people, or you know, have these different types of functions that you don't currently have in a lot of games, like the Call of Duties, like Grand Theft Autos, you know, like the Fortnites of the world. Like it's all locked in game in the gaming ecosystem. Here, I want to do something where you can like take the stuff out. You can 3D print it if you're a super fan. Like let's say you find a, you know, a gun that you love using in game, like a blaster, you know, like, and you love the specific skin. Well, why not be able to, you know, convert that into an NFT, get the 3D files, 3D print it, have it on your desk, and you're like, you know, you're a happy camper, right? To me, that's like not something you can currently do with a lot of other games, other projects. It's very like locked in. Like you have to just like buy stuff, and it's one directional. There's not really a community element around it. Like you can't like display it outside of the game. It's kind of just like, it's very Web 2. It's one directional. It's just like a megaphone that a company's like, you know, shouting through, and then everybody's just like doing what the people in the megaphone tell them to do, right? Whereas like Web 3 is very like two-way feedback loop. Like there's a community element. There's people that, you know, say what they like, they say what they don't like, they show off stuff, they create their own stuff. And then the community is like in parallel with that. And the project's in parallel with that as well, right? To me, it's like, I think a way better way to build, because now you're building stuff that people actually want. You get, you know, instantaneous feedback, which, you know, instant gratification is what everybody's looking for. Otherwise, like people wouldn't opt for like, you know, Amazon next day delivery, or like, you know, skip the dishes at all these different like food delivery apps if it wasn't that important to people, right? People love instant gratification. So when you have a two-way feedback loop between community and a project, you know, you're on the right track if you're building stuff that people like, or if you're building stuff that people hate. Whereas like the traditional model is like build a bunch of stuff in silent, use your megaphone to get as much exposure on it as possible, and then people either buy the hype or they don't, and they don't tell you if they like it or hate it typically, unless you're like reading all the comments from like strangers who could be bots, right? Like you don't even know if they're invested owners, if they have a skin in the game or anything, right? So it's like Web3 model is like superior in that way, because like everybody who's involved in the project at a deep level is giving direct feedback, and they have skin in the game, right? So like their feedback matters, because they're demonstrating, they're putting their money where their mouth is, right? And so you should listen to those people. You should listen to what they tell you, and if they tell you, give you ideas, like integrate those ideas, and you'll have a good project.
Nice. I want to ask one more thing, since we're talking about Beast Points. I'm sure people would want to know.
Bones, real quick. We're getting really raspy. We're getting about to the hour of the time. How are you on time?
I'm fine on my side. Like we can definitely finish up like a lot of the questions. I don't want to leave people hanging.
Perfect,
I don't want to be that guy.
So I'll ask one more question, then I'll pass it over to Shane. We want to know about, you have to give us some juicy details about this new anime drop that I'm seeing. Me and him just came in the project recently, but we're seeing this anime drop. I don't know anything about it. I heard from you that you can use Beast Points. It's coming out this January. Do you have any information you can give to us about
So the anime collection isn't coming out in January. That's misinfo.
Oh, okay.
But it will be a Beast Points for like the initial community claim. It'll be through Beast Points. So definitely stack your Beast Points. You know, we like we said, we want Beast Points to be like the available like free currency that you can earn just by holding, right? And so a lot of the stuff we're releasing, whether it's animations, whether it's 3D asset packs, anything that's like functional, usable, cool, collectible, like it's going to be Beast Points. Until, comes such a time where we can legally convert that into a token and then swap out Beast Points or find some other means of doing a similar function, right? But for now, like Beast Points is that function until further notice. And so February is kind of what we have stated for a launch. Not gonna say whether it's early or late, and it's gonna be like we're definitely gonna scatter the toy drop and the anime drop, so they're not happening at the same time, because that'll just be like, what do I think about? What do I like? We want people to be able to like put emphasis on one thing at a time, so we're not like diluting the results of like a lot of work. But the anime collection is we're so proud of it. It's so sick. It looks like good. The function that it's going to have is going to be really, really cool. It's more than meets the eye. I can't say what that is. Definitely not going to leak what that is. But we have a lot more planned for it, and it's really cool because now we know and we have pipelines to build so many unique and cool things that we didn't have when we first launched our last project, like our Genesis. Like our Kid Called Beast. Like we didn't have like all the abilities that we have now with those characters, right? So now, day one, an NFT launch from us is going to look a lot different than like, hey, this is a JPEG with some 3D files. Like there's more to it. And so we're very, very excited about, what the possibility looks like. And I want to talk about Sans Crayons. She is like absolute legend when it comes to creativity and like artistry. And like, she's such a pleasure to work with. She's just a good person, good soul, like puts her best forward on everything she does. Like she's a beast. Like she's naturally just a beast. Like everybody else on the team who's like really cares, it really shows, right? When you put emphasis on like care and pride into the stuff you're doing and you don't try to rush stuff out the door, it really, really shows. And she's like exemplary when it comes to that. So yeah, I just want to give her a big shout out. She's like creating such a nice like interpretation of the characters in like the most perfect way. Like she's blending the original IP with the anime seamlessly, and everybody on the team for the anime is doing a fantastic job as well. Like they're all creating something that hasn't been done before from what I've seen, and even with like the other additional items, like it's all just such a nice like package. So the nice thing about this NFT collection is going to be that there's lots to do on day one. It won't be just a JPEG, and excited to reveal that and share that. We're looking at like a full supply collection, and it will be obviously priority to community, and priority on how to claim a spot through community first and foremost, and that will be through points. And then there will obviously be public slots available as well too, because we want to expand the community. We want to get combine people who love anime with people who love what we're trying to do. And be able to build upon that and expand further, right? Like not everybody's into 3D characters, not everybody's into 2D characters, not everybody's into 8-bit characters, but as we expand into these different universes and add these different components, there's gonna be something there for everybody. And I think it'll just make it more fun because like you get different people from different walks of life with different interests interacting, commingling. Great things always happen when that happens.
Amazing. Excited to hear it.
Awesome. Video Shane, you're up, man.
Audio.
Uh-oh, just lost audio.
Uh-oh. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Of course. No.
Oh no. Yeah, Rafsby said he just lost some audio, so we'll give him some time to like refigure that out. Sometimes StreamYards can do some strange things, but really, really happy.
Is it cool if I drop out and drop back in? I lost audio for some reason.
Yeah, man, come back right in. Come right back in. Yeah, so awesome conversation, guys. This has been very massive. We've learned a lot. It's been a really great conversation. How's it been going for you guys so far?
Amazing. I have like 20 other questions. Can we have them together like 2 hours?
20, like we need
Seriously,
20 more hours.
Look.
Well, we gotta let Shane go first.
I got a whole list here.
I think we all got a list.
I got so many questions in my phone that I want to ask, but I was like, I don't want to.
We gotta have like a part 2, 3, and 4.
There we go. He's back. Hey, Rafsby.
Hey.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
That's all right. Can you hear me?
We're talking. Yeah, I can hear you guys now perfectly. But
you
guys
perfect.
were talking, all of a sudden it stopped. But yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it's all good.
So, go ahead, Shane.
All right. Thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it. All right. I'll make mine real quick. So what platforms is the game going to be released on? Is it going to be a mobile game?
So starting out, it's going to be PC, Mac.
Okay.
So those two platforms. That's going to allow us to, really stress test the game and see kind of like, what things look like at low settings, what things look like at high settings, because like people have different graphics cards, different setups. And it's going to be able to kind of push the limits of like what we're doing graphically and visually. And then we're going to be doing ports onto consoles and mobile as well. So iOS, Android. So we are trying to go, full platform, full cross platform, and doing it. And we built the entire game in a way that's like super, super optimized, where it's going to be able to run on like even pretty crappy phones.
Wow.
Which is like, great, because then it opens up to like the largest player base possible.
Yeah.
So we're building like 10 maps right now in the game, all kind of like inspired worlds. We got everything from like cyberpunk to steampunk to like Wild West, like Arabian desert. We have like a Europe map, a China map, like a Japan, Tokyo map, New York map. Like we're building like a lot of stuff simultaneously with different teams assigned to creating all these like environments and props. And it's moving at like an insanely fast pace. Like when I demonstrate the progress of what we've built, people are like floored, and all the assets are like built in a AAA format, like the current standards that AAA studios are using to build these assets. And everything is just looking like I'm over the moon with how everything's looking. It's fantastic.
Very exciting. Yeah, all the demo stuff that I've seen just looks amazing. So, do you have a time frame on when you think that first release is going to happen?
A public release isn't going to happen for a while. Games take a long time to build, especially like polished, high quality games. But we are going to start bringing people into the game. I think we have a goal of around 30 days.
Oh,
so yeah, like small clusters of people. Like you're going to have to obviously sign an NDA and some paperwork to play the game. Like obviously, because it's like it's sensitive content. And we don't want people to like look at like a early alpha of the game and say, oh yeah, this is the crappy release game that they're going to put out. Like this is it's not something that we want people to look at as a final product. It's something that we're going to use purely for testing, for feedback, for improvement. Because the more people you have playing stuff and providing feedback, the easier it is to find bugs, locate different things that you can work on and fix. We've done a really good job at like just whenever we do our like 4-on-4 skirmishes, playing 4 of us on the team against 4 of us on the team, we're able to track down bugs and locate stuff and fix it very, very quickly. But like we need to scale up a little bit more to be able to stress test things and see how things are looking. I'm very, very, very impressed with the progress we've made in such a short time. Like I think our team is like super, super nimble, and like the energy that we have right now as a team is like, it's like, yeah, nothing I've ever experienced before. It's like, we're working like one brain basically towards the same goal, but we have like 30 people on the gaming team now.
wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Yeah. We have like 15 3D modelers and texture artists. We have people that are character artists that are working purely on that side of stuff as well. 2D artists, animators, coders, project managers. Like it's a like art directors. It's a big team. Well, not big. I mean, relative to like the size of like some AAA gaming teams, where it's like 500,000 to 1,000 people, like standard. On any like large game like an Assassin's Creed or like any of these Ubisoft games or any of these large games. But it's for an indie project, it's like coming into a pretty good. I don't think, and realistically, I think for like the progress we're making, what we're trying to build, we won't need to become like a 50 to 100 person or 200 person team for quite a while. Like we're managing really, really well, and we're making a ton of progress on everything that we're building. So adding new features like pretty regularly, like within a week, you can go from like not being able to swim underwater in a level to being able to swim underwater. Like in a week or 2 weeks, we can go from not being able to run on walls or jump through a window and vault onto ledges to being able to have those functions. So vehicles are something that we're working on right now in the game. Being able to enter and exit vehicles, with a plan to be able to be in New York City riding around in vehicles, skateboarding down the streets, like being able to go into any of the 50 plus interior buildings and be able to run around and explore, talk to NPCs, different AIs. and things to make the game like really interactive, whether you're playing with 20 or 30 friends or playing by yourself. So yeah, I mean, this is another cool thing. Someone in the chat just mentioned the AR filter. So this is like a cool feature and function that we want people to use when the game releases. Because like, think about this from the perspective of like, okay, let's say you want to stream yourself playing a game, but you don't want to show your face. This is the ultimate mask for that. Let's say you're not 18 years old. Let's say you're like 14 years old and you want to stream yourself playing a game, and you don't want your parents to worry that creeps are stalking you or taking pictures of you or something.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate tool. Like, this is a privacy screen. This is something that allows you to enjoy, have your personality, still be able to demonstrate your fantastic facial expressions without having to, show your face. You can still have fun. You can still be yourself. You can still exhibit your personality and who you are without having to show your face. So, one day when the time comes and you're like, okay, I built up a following, I feel confident, I want to show my face, you can. And if you don't, and you like the anonymity and be able to like leave your streaming online, where you feel it belongs, you have the option to do that. And I think having that flexibility is really fun. It's also going to open up the doorway for a lot more creators and streamers to be able to create content online and be able to obviously in turn also create more exposure for the project, right? Because now you have the potential for anybody to become a streamer, right? Doesn't matter where they are or what they look like, if they look like a Barbie doll or a Ken doll or not. They could just be themselves, and they can just stream and be confident doing so, knowing that they have a veil of anonymity while they do what they do, right? So I think it's going to be really cool and a really powerful tool for people while they're playing games, and like expanding upon that, working with amazing partners like Metatope. I think it's going to make it even better, even cooler, more functionality, and then cross-platform integration too, like being able to take this character and like go play a different game, some other game that supports avatars, like a Nifty Island type game where you can go play a different type of game with your character. I think that just like, it becomes a lot more fun, a lot more open source. And like a lot of the stuff we're going to be building is going to be open source. Like, we want people to use our 3D models and our stuff to create their own stuff and share it with everybody else. Like, we'll probably integrate like a creators marketplace as well too, where people can, use points to pick up stuff from other creators in the community that they like. And now that creates like, a furtherance of the economy, right? It allows people to, earn a living off of, making 3D assets or things they enjoy making. So it's like a good way to reward, creators and people that are actively involved.
Man, multi-purpose.
Amazing.
All right.
Amazing.
I
So
just have-
Shane, what he's saying is that you need a beast.
I do need a beast.
That's what he's saying, Shane.
I've been saving up for a while, but the prices recently just went a little
Yeah.
higher, so a little bit more out of my reach. But I'm saving up. Last question.
Sure.
So a few of us on the panel here had the joy of going to DCon last year now. Is that something that Kid Called Beast would ever consider, as having a booth at DCon?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is with these, like a lot of these booths, like they're super expensive, and to be able to like get a value, like a return out of them is like, it becomes difficult to quantify because like, I've seen some of the prices of some of these booths and we're talking like $30,000 to $50,000 American. That's not even including the assembly cost of like manufacturing, a nice looking booth. Because we're not going to go in with a white table and a vinyl billboard draped over top, right?
Yeah.
We do it the Kid Called Beast way. So like we're looking at something in the range of like, $50,000 to $100,000 for like a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day event. With $50,000 to $100,000, the amount of stuff that we could build for our community that would have a much further and greater impact and widespread impact, like far supersedes like a 2 or 3 day event where you'd have only walk up people looking at the brand and project, right? Like with $50,000 to $100,000, we could do, a marketing campaign with some major influencers. We could do some, large streaming events. We could do giveaways, and people love physical stuff. They love free stuff. They love being able to show off free stuff, and like, so multiply that by the amount of people that receive a giveaway and their collective reach, and being able to say that, hey, I got this for free. That entices people more than like a walk-up booth in a lot of cases where there's hundreds of other vendors also competing for mindshare against people that are getting overloaded with cool concepts and cool ideas over a 2 or 3 day event where they're seeing 50 to 100 other great, fantastic creative projects, like trying to stand out and be top of mind in that situation. Like, I do love the idea and like if we, let's say we got like, you know, a big like a large amount of investment, or like, you know, we secured an investor you know, for a significant amount of money, like in the realm of something that, you know, Doodles has, or like any of these other projects have, you know, 100% we'd be doing every single trade show, every single game show, every single thing you could think of, because the budget would be there to, you know, be built for like scale. Whereas, you know, we're independent. You know, we don't have, you know, $10 million or $20 million, you know, sitting in a treasury to be able to just be frugal, or to be able to be like the other way, the opposite, be able to like just throw money around. Yeah. We have to be like very, very careful with the funds we spend to make sure that like we're getting maximum impact for what we do. So like a lot of like grassroots movements, a lot of like favor trading, a lot of like being resourceful, you know, to get the exposure that we want to get. Like our Instagram, for example, we haven't spent any money on our Instagram account. We haven't done any sponsored posts or anything like that, and we've managed to hit 171,000 people with some of our videos. Our biggest video, I think, it did 10 million views. Wow. Which is like insane exposure, right? Like even our holiday video, 700,000 views over a span of like, I don't know, 8 days, maybe 8 days, which is pretty good, right? Like there's major artists that are signed to major labels right now that aren't doing those numbers in terms of views and impressions. Right. And so like, we're definitely going to stick to like grassroots movements and use funding to actually build stuff that's usable and functional, and like it becomes like a strengthener of the IP, stuff that is like physical in most cases, IP building, and like has a structure to it. Stuff that is like not just, you know, an event in history. It's something that is, you know, you can demonstrate, you can display, you can sell, you can trade, you can give away, you can do stuff with it. Because like anything that's physical or tangible, I think is like more of an asset building to a project versus like, you know, a one-day event. We did a one-day event in New York. It was like a very expensive one-day event. I think we spent like probably $100,000 on it early on in the project. You know, it was good. People were talking about it for a week, 2 weeks, but then a new hype thing comes and then people start talking about that thing. Right. And it's like, you know, that was a good experiment and seeing like, you know, how long that lasts. And like, in terms of like an ROI, I don't think it gave us a huge ROI. It gave us like some mind share for a week and people talking about it. But like, did we recoup $100,000 spend on that type of event? No, I would say not. Right. I would say it was like good for publicity and maybe brand building, but like it was difficult to quantify. So in our stage right now, we want to make sure that, everything that we spend funds on is like usable. It's functional. It's whether it's tech, whether it's physical goods, whether it's game development, whether it's talent. You know, that's the big thing, is talent, paying for talent to help work on a project that is this ambitious, right? That's like, for me and like our teammates, and I think a lot of people in our project, much more valuable. I mean, everybody wants to go attend a party where the drinks are free in their local city, right? Like who doesn't, right? Speaking selfishly though, right? Speaking from a perspective of like something that will benefit the entire project and create sustainability and like allow the most amount of people worldwide who are beasts to be able to benefit from it. I think like continuing the path we're on is the best one. It's like continuing to create stuff that is physical, tangible, you know, tech, functional. Like we want to be the most, I think we already are. It's probably the most utility rich project out there, period, already. Like out of everything you can do with a kid called Beast compared to any other collection, like our floor price is definitely not, you know, 20 ETH or 15 ETH or 10 ETH, whatever. Like not looking at that metric, but in terms of functionality, I think we're the most functional 3D project in the entire space already, currently in its current form, and we're not even done yet. And like if you disagree with me, tell me the project then that has the functionality that we have as a project. Like you can become your character, you can 3D print your character, you can animate using your character, you can generate content using your character, you can learn how to become a 3D artist using this character, you can insert it into games. I mean, it's just like, and then you have all the other additional benefits of just like membership and community and networking. You know, we have a profile system. We have like a raffle system where we give away 3 Bit Beasts and Genesis Beasts every single week. We have creator contests where we give away more stuff. We have holidays where we just randomly give away stuff of high, like, and it's high value stuff too, like compared to like what I see other people doing, like getting like a $90 NFT just because you like engaged with some posts and like wrote some comments is like pretty significant. Like I don't see anybody doing that kind of stuff. Like 1,000 NFTs at $90 is $90,000, right? And we give away 1,000 NFTs to people in the last 45 days, probably. So like we give $90 grand just to onboard people, to teach them about what we're doing. You don't see anybody doing that. So yeah, I think that what we're doing is very unique. It's different. We're going against the grain. We look at, what others are doing and what others aren't happy about, and we're doing the opposite. That's like kind of like a big thing that we do. It's like we look at pain points of other projects, and we try to deliver on those pain points, so that we don't run into those same pain points. We have obviously our own pain points, and a lot of them stem from our mint and still haunts us to this day. But I think we're doing a fantastic job. Like the last year has been smooth sailing. We have an incredible team. Everybody on the team's like doing a fantastic job, working really, really hard. And we're all like synced towards the same goals. 2025 this year is going to be incredible. Like I'm so excited for the toys to launch. I'm so excited for the game to launch. I'm so excited for all the new accessories and apparel things that we're working on as well. There's more coming. There's one that's like almost done that we're going to drop soon. It's a cool little thing that I think everybody anybody who's got a pair of eyes could use. It'll be fun. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming.
And I got to say right now, guys, I learned a lot from this interview today. Like, not only is this project just a massive, and I can't answer that question. I don't know what you guys cannot do, because there's so many things I learned about the piece.
There's nothing you can't do, to be honest. Like our team is like, we're beasts. We figure out a way. Like we look at what we want to do, we reverse engineer it, we look at the steps, and then we ask ourselves, okay, how long is this going to take us to do? And when should we start? And that's pretty much it. And then we get started, and then we work on it, and we build it till it's done, and we don't throw things away. And there's a lot of things that we've already built too that are just like sitting there waiting for the perfect moment, and reserve. Like it's always nice to have a pocket full of aces just waiting for the right time, right?
Awesome. Rafsby, how are you on time? I know these guys had some other questions, but I want to be mindful.
Yeah, I could take another question from everybody. That'd be cool.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna. So both D and I, we're more curators of the community. I want to give these guys the time because they're very excited to be here with you. So I want to give Bones and Mission more time with you. So go ahead, Mission. Ask another question. You're muted, Mission. We can't hear you.
I'm muted. So okay, Raz. I know Kid Called Beast is probably like one of my favorite NFT projects in this space, and I must admit that. But my question is, how do you hope A Kid Called Beast would influence the NF space and the culture in general, so that other projects will kind of like follow you guys' lead, or how you becoming the trendsetters in this space?
Oh yeah, like we definitely want to lead by example. Right. Yeah, like we've already seen it happen. Like a lot of people are doing like 3D models and 3D assets and stuff now, which is good, right? Like we're not like, oh, they're copying us. No, it's not copying. It's good, because what did we have before? You had a bunch of JPEG projects that rugged. That was the outcome. And like when that's the outcome for everybody, you know how much harder our job gets to teach people about NFTs are, a good thing. Like to convince them that NFTs are a good thing. Every time that happens, it gets 10 times harder, because their first experience was like, oh, my friend bought, this JPEG, it went up and it went down, and then they lost all their money, and then the founder disappeared, and there's no news updates or anything for like over a year now. And like that's their first experience. And then I'm like, oh, well, guess what I do for a living? Like I'm a NFT founder. Like right away, I'm like, oh, great. This person probably thinks I'm a scammer or like some like horrible person with like no ideas, or like some get rich quick scheme, right? So yeah, we want people to like copy us. Like if you're launching a project, make sure it has function, like make sure if you're building a 3D JPEG, make sure you give people the files, make sure you like let people animate, like make sure people can keep stuff and create and utilize it. Like that's always, these are all good things, right? Give people functionality so that whatever they buy, even if the founder decides that he can't take the pressure of running an NFT project, which happens a lot, and I can sympathize with it because it's pretty stressful stuff when you have thousands of people, breathing down your neck, being like, when's this, when's that, when's this coming, like it's not easy for sure. And if you were to launch a Web2 company, doing something very similar, like let's say we just purely launched an art toy, we wouldn't have people breathing down our necks, being like, when's this, when's that, when's this? Because there's like, they just wait till you drop your link on your e-commerce store, and then they just buy it. They wait for it to arrive in shipping. They maybe take a photo of it when it arrives, and that's kind of like how that relationship ends. So like running a Web3 project is a very different experience because you're directly involved with community members, and you want their feedback, and you want to build those relationships as much as you can. Like I do my absolute best to build relationships with as many people as possible. But again, there's only so many hours in a day. I got to get a lot of work done, and I got to balance it with like maintaining those relationships. So like if I can even have a conversation with somebody, even if it's short, like it brings me a lot of joy because I get to collect feedback. I get to, figure out how they're feeling, figure out what they want to see more of. And I try to do that as much as I can. We have thousands of people, obviously having 1,000 conversations going simultaneously, like no work would get done, and it would be pretty stressful maintaining, all the different social dynamics with everybody too, because not everybody conversates the same way either. Right. So yeah, it's, I want people to, build strong communities, work, really closely with their community, create function and utility for their NFT projects as much as they possibly can, so that no matter what, even if they decide, okay, I need to take a break, or I'm going to walk away, or this is too much for me, at least then the NFT community has stuff they can continue doing. They can take over the community. The legend can live on, the art can live on, the creativity of the community can live on, so that like at least people are not like stuck with like the feeling of like, well, I just bought something and it does nothing, and now my experience is going to be telling everybody about my experience, that it was a bad one, as a poor one, and making NFTs have a bad name when they don't have to, right? So the more projects we can see, creating stuff that's functional, that people can enjoy, whether price goes up or down or whatever happens in that front, whether the founder still exists or not, that's always a plus, because then at least people have stuff they can do, stuff they can enjoy, stuff they can collect and have fun with, and then they're not going online and saying NFTs suck, NFTs are a scam, NFTs are a pump and dump, NFTs are a rug, this and that. Because that just makes it so much harder for everybody else actually trying to build cool stuff and onboard new people into the technology and into the projects.
Nice. That's kind of like one of the questions that I have, because I know you guys from the beginning. I've been here, and there were a lot of lessons learned. So I kind of want to pick your brain. Okay, we came from a spot, but we're here now, and how do you see this space growing with a kid called Beast being at the forefront of just everything that's going on in the space? So thank you for kind of answering that, and thank you for being our fearless leader.
It's my pleasure.
I'm gonna pass it over to Bones. I know he had another question.
Yeah, I'll just ask one question. It's amazing seeing, not even just talking about the portal, about those raffles, about the OG Beast and the Bit Beast, but I feel like you've given like 1,000 Bit Beasts away just on X. And I think the giveaways are a great onboarding tool for new people. They get a Bit Beast, they go into the portal, they all of a sudden they start getting beasts, they start getting beast points, and then they realize that they could, go into raffles. They start looking at all the creator tools that you have, all the things you can do, and you can learn about how to animate in Blender. There's so much, and then you start diving into the project and you buy a beast, and it's happened so many times. And it's crazy that the Bit Beasts, there's been on it, like I feel like 1,000 that you've given away, the floor has not dumped, the floor has pumped. And that is like the power of the community. And I just want to know, is this like giving away Bit Beasts, is this something that's going to be ongoing for a year, 2 years? Like how long do you think you'll be doing these giveaways just on X for Bit Beasts?
Yeah, so there's about 2,100 Bit Beasts left that are available there. So like, and yeah, we'll definitely come up with like other things to give away for sure. Always, like we want to expand the ecosystem. We have like another plan for something else that'll be an even better onboarding tool, I think, in the future. When it comes to like our game being ready for like launch, we're going to do a campaign that's going to allow even more people to experience Beasts in a unique and cool way. But for now, yeah, we definitely utilize them as like a really good tool. Like they're fantastic, characters and creations in their own right. Like Bit Beasts are just like aesthetically, they're freaking awesome. They're cute too. And a lot of people, it's a very affordable NFT. Like I think it's the most affordable, functional, like low cost entry level NFT you could possibly get in Web3 right now, period. And when you go in for free, it's like amazing, right? We're definitely going to continue giving them away. And like they are, a really good tool for people to learn about the project. Like, you get a bit piece for free, you connect, and then you're like, you realize all the stuff you can do, and you're like, why would anyone ever call this project a rug? Like it's got more function and utility than any of the stuff that people pay for out there, and you got it for free. So it really puts things in perspective when people can experience it for themselves. We want people to, animate. We want people to create. We want people to learn about, the possibilities. 3D and augmented reality and animation is becoming more and more of a staple in our everyday lives. And as our devices become more and more powerful, our mobile devices, the big VR headsets, the clunky VR headsets, they didn't take off, obviously, because it's form factor. But I think once, the form factor becomes a lot smaller for these things and becomes like the size of just regular sunglasses, you're going to see a lot more people utilizing AR technology and AI technology. And, when that layer gets introduced into our lives, our mobile phones won't be as cool anymore. You're not going to want to hunch your neck over and look down at something on a mobile device when you can just put on your sunglasses, your clear lens, glasses, and be able to have all your overlays like Tony Stark of everything you want to know, your notifications, be able to speak to AI and, be able to translate stuff in any language in any place in the world you are, be able to get data by looking at stuff, be able to see, I'm 100% certain that once these types of like form factor glasses come out, you're going to be able to walk into shopping centers and you're going to be able to see stuff that isn't there when your glasses aren't on. Like companies like the Nikes and the Adidases and all these big name brands of the world are going to be building experiences where I'm sure you'll be able to see a floating, new 2026 or 27 sneaker that's just floating in augmented reality space in front of you, enticing you to walk into the store while you're wearing these glasses. It's going to be very much like that kind of Blade Runner, a Ghost in the Shell type aesthetic once that becomes a possibility. Because, when we do have the form factor that you sort of put on glasses and you can overlay 3D items, what do you think people are going to do? They're going to build 3D items. Anybody that's got 3D skill sets is going to be landing jobs working for big companies, building these 3D experiences, whether it's animation, it's 3D modeling, it's 3D texturing. There's going to be a very, very high demand for people who can utilize those skill sets to create incredible immersive campaigns around the world for various brands, right? Being able to see the dials or the inside of a watch in augmented reality, for example, walking into, a Rolex shop, being able to see that floating in front of a store in a luxury mall while you're on vacation. Maybe you're that luxury tier of, customer, and you see that in front of a store while you're wearing your, Meta glasses or whichever company decides to do it first. I think, that's going to be mindshare taking. Whoever does it first is going to be able to, take that customer from whoever doesn't have that. And so there's going to be a race to be able to create those experiential components, I think, as there is with every, 3D technology that comes out, right? Like, when people swap from, little text devices to mobile phones, like think about all the data that they start integrating with like locations. And I mean, I could talk about this stuff for like a long time. This is a very passionate topic for me, but I think like the new form factor of what people will utilize to communicate will become very, very advantageous for 3D creators. Like people will be able to set up studios, they'll be able to get freelancer work, creating experiences for a lot of different brands that are going to be pivoting that kind of stuff. Because think about the current advertising experience right now. It's basically you scrolling through whatever social media you use, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, X, seeing an ad and most likely scrolling past it because you're like numb to it. You've seen it a million times, or your ad blocker prevents you from seeing it, right? Like that's no longer like an effective campaign. So influencer campaigns are also like, they became the kind of replacement for that. And now even those are kind of like becoming way too saturated because everyone's an influencer pushing a product now. So now people, as soon as they hear a sales pitch, they just turn their brain off and they're like, I don't care about this. It's just like they're trying to sell me something, and they lose trust factor. And then even the influencers are like losing trust in that way. So I think experiential stuff where it's like stuff you haven't seen before and it's like completely new will be the stuff that like makes people feel something again when it comes to ads. And, those engaging experiences will be what makes people, consume the things that they experience, right? Similar to like, the very first time you saw a good ad for, a flat screen TV. We're all at that age, right? You're like, wow, this is the future. That the feeling that you got when you saw, a flat screen TV for the very first time. That's going to be that feeling people have when we switch to a new form factor and they experience the ads of the future when they, experience products, even if they're old products that they've already tried on before. Experiencing them in a new way is going to put them top of mind for people. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is, long story short, is like, learn 3D. If you're ever at a standstill with your career and you don't know what to do, 3D I think is a really good side hustle you could pick up in an hour to 2 hours a day. And like, for anybody listening, like, who's like, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I should get into, 3D and AI, I would say these are like the two things to learn. Learn AI and you learn 3D, you'll be pretty much career set, in my opinion, for like all the new advances and all the new technology rushes that are going to be coming out.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And what can't the Beasts do? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the Beasts have their toe dunked in all these different things, and they're just ready for the future, pretty much. Like, utility, like you said it, I don't know any other NFT project that has the most utility than A Kid Called Beast. I appreciate it, and I look forward to the future of the Beasts and this new anime drop and everything. I look forward to the game. I look so many things. I need to do a video on A Kid Called Beast. I'm too excited.
Appreciate that. No, seriously, and it's a lot of fun to build, because like a lot of it's just like, can we build it? Like, it's a test, it's a challenge, right? And everyone loves a good challenge, right? Otherwise, like, we'd all be, I don't know what we'd be doing, but everyone loves a good challenge. And so, we want to just challenge ourselves, have fun with it, see what's possible. We'll find a way. And even if it's something we can't do right now, put it in the back burner, try again later when we have the information, the skill sets, and we get a breakthrough. And that happens all the time. We'll have stuff that's just like in the vault as an idea, and one of us on the team will stumble across something that's like a breakthrough, and I'm like, holy crap, we can actually do this now. And then we just like rush, and then we like pivot some energy towards getting that thing done. And it's like that kind of continuous process. We have like 10 different things on the go, and we're just putting in a little sprints into these different things to get them to closer to completion. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, and a lot of stuff is in like very far completion stages now too.
Nice.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Awesome. So, Dee, I know you didn't have any questions for Rafsby, and this will probably be like the last question of the day before we let you go, Rafsby. But Dee, I want to give you the microphone right now. Go ahead.
Well, a lot got actually answered from what I had. I just want to say, when I was going on your website, it's really clean and organized the way it's set up. Whoever worked on your website did a phenomenal job. And I love how you have all these benefits. I was actually just recently looking at all the benefits. I'm like, wow, all this comes with just holding, one of the
there's some
keys.
there's some
like,
good value out of it just by holding like the wallet guard premium is like a really good one just on its own, because like being able to keep your NFT secure and your wallet secure, and like not clicking on random stuff and getting drained is always a plus.
Yeah. But it's it's really cool to see there's like all these educational things in that website that people can just go on their own time and learn how to do certain things. And I feel like a lot of projects that we may end up getting ourselves into, we have to like really search through like the FAQs and like maybe their white paper to like actually find out information. Whereas on your website, you have it all like, really organized, where you can just go click on this and it takes you there, boom, and you learn on your own, basically. So thank you for making that easier for, people like me.
Oh yeah, no, Caleb and
It's
Nick
awesome.
like did a fantastic job on like just creating a UI that's just so like it. You don't even need to be able to necessarily like know English to be able to like navigate it and be able to find stuff that you're trying to find. And we built that with intent. We made it so it's just like super simple, like using a phone, like it's intuitive and there's not too much information. It's just like minimalistic and user friendly for everybody. And we want to keep everything that we do that way, where it's like a kid could pick it up and figure it out. And like that, yeah, that's just like making stuff easy to use is like always, makes stuff better. And like, it could be even like daunting, like learning the Blender stuff at the very beginning. But like, if you're somebody that's trying to learn, how to animate, give it one day at a time. Like you will definitely figure it out. Just take it one day at a time. Don't stress out over it. The whole thing is supposed to be fun. So just like one day at a time, absorb what you can, and take it one step at a time. And you're going to be so impressed with the kind of stuff you can build in a very short amount of time. I'm going to post a video that I worked on recently. I spent like 30 minutes on it, and it looks freaking awesome. And I learned every skill in that video that I'm going to be releasing from the community. So people in the community are who I learn from. So I'm experiencing the project myself as well, not just as a founder, but as a community member, learning about all the benefits of interacting with people in the community and the stuff I can learn from them, taking in their knowledge and the stuff that they share. The really great thing about Beast is like there's no gatekeepers. We share all our information with each other so that we can all improve and we can all level up. I think that's very powerful, because a lot of situations I've been in where people are reluctant to share, they think you're in competition with them or something, which doesn't make any sense. Like if you're in a community, why would you be in competition with the people you're in the same community with? It's all about uplifting each other. It's all about like sharing the information, sharing the wealth, sharing the knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? Why wouldn't you want everybody else in your community to be powerful when you're part of that community? And so, I learned a lot of amazing skills from my community, and I encourage everybody else to, listen to them when they share information. There's a lot of good intel and stuff to take in all different categories, not just 3D, but like even life stuff. Like we got a lot of wise, really cool people that just, they're here to uplift you. Like 99% of them are gems. Like these are amazing people. And like when you meet them in real life, it's just like hugs all around, because like everybody's just like, wow, we finally get to meet, and like the vibes are like even better in person. Yeah. I went to Japan and I met like the Japanese beasts. Like I'll never forget that experience. Like they're like the nicest people I've ever met. Everyone's so welcoming. We went out like to a pub and like a lounge and stuff, and like we went out for like a sushi dinner too, like a sit down chef sushi dinner, and it was like the coolest experience ever. Like everybody was so stoked. People all were just like in their ski masks, and it was just like it was just fun. It was just so cool, and like the energy is the same everywhere you go. Same thing in Paris. When we were in Paris, like all the beasts that showed up there, it was like just good energy all around. And so it's like another cool thing is like knowing you have these people that are like warm, like-minded, creative all around the world. So when you travel, you have people there that you already know. You're not just like a tourist. You have like locals there that are like-minded, who share interests, probably food tastes, probably art tastes, probably music tastes with you as well. I think that's like super, super special.
Yeah, I love that. And I just love that the whole thing is just focused on community and building each other up and learning from each other. And I am so pumped, like from you just talking with us for like almost 2 hours. Thank you, by the way, for that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go after this and I'm gonna go and do more research and I'm gonna start building, because yeah, you just got me so amped up to, just create something a little bit at a time.
Oh, it feels so satisfying too. Like being able to release something that you work on is like, it's the same thing. Like I'm a music producer as well. So like when I release music, even if nobody listens to it, and the only person that listens to it is my wife, which is almost always the case. I like never put out music bodies of work ever. You'll hear some of my songs that I make in like a lot of like the Kid Called Beast trailers and stuff. Like I just hide them in there. And like I don't care if anybody like notices or not, but like it's so satisfying to just put something out into the world that you created and crafted, because like no one could ever take that away from you, and you're leaving like matter and like art behind, in like, whereas like now your existence is less meaningless, because like you're leaving something behind that is like that could supersede you and could outlast you, and it's not waste. It could be either inspiring or thought-provoking, or entertaining to look at. It can make people feel good. It can bring people together. There's a lot of reasons to create that are far more important and more valuable, and like I think like if you're like somebody who has a soul, more meaningful than making a bunch of cash. Like you can make a bunch of cash doing a million other things, but like if you're not leaving anything behind in the world, it's like, what's the point? You're not going to take any of that cash with you when you die, and we're all going to die. That's a fact.
Man, I resonate and rock with everything you just said throughout this entire interview right here, man. I really appreciate you for coming on. We are almost at the 2-hour mark, Rafsby. This has been really a really awesome conversation. The chat down below has really been enjoying it. I see a bunch of people now that want to save up their money to buy some beasts because they got a little bit more insight in the project. So thank you for giving us your time today. This is part of the program where we like to ask you to ask us any questions. If you have any for the panel, please, right now, go ahead.
Okay. One by one. Could you guys see yourselves in the same order that I see you guys in, from left to right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's start from the top from the left. What's your favorite NFT related memory of 2024? And then what's your favorite crypto related memory of 2024?
Okay, my favorite related NFT moment was when we launched our NFT, and it's very small. We're a small podcast, so we have a small support group. I think there's like maybe around maybe 50 of them in there. But what was really cool about it is, well, this wasn't cool about it. The day I launched it, someone scammed the collection, and so you remember that, D. I think we were at a family dinner. And so I was like trying the best to try to get my collection back because someone duplicated it and my collection got taken down instead of the duplicate.
Oh no.
And so I had to work with OpenSea, and luckily they worked with me. And I want to say it was a holiday this happened, but needless to say, by going through that and having our supporters, I remember Bones, he was reaching out to me like something's going on, the collection's dead, I can't see the, you know. And so that memory of going through that and the hardship, even though it was really small, it was really it was a learning experience for us, because for one thing, for D&I, we're big on community. When I say we're big on community, I mean like the broader crypto community, not like a small subset. Everybody and everyone to us is community. And so when we have different people from like a kid called Beast or say McFarlane, and they're all trying to join our project, you know, it's something special, even though it's like 50 people. So for me, that was a really special moment. We offer utility to our members. We do this thing called a monthly comic book thing where we reward them every month. You know, we give them slab comic books, graded comic books of that sort. And it's mainly just building our own community. So for me, it was that moment we released our pass. It was a pass into our Discord. And I just remember going through all the heartache. I had scammers coming after us, and it was fun, yet also kind of stressful. And so that was the moment for me for NFTs. Now, when it comes to crypto, you know, I'm not really.
I want to also say I applaud you for not giving up after experiencing something like that, because a lot of people would have just walked away and given up and be like, the same feeling they get as a collector, you know, like walk away when the going gets tough and be like, don't look back, you know. So you know, big applause to you for sticking with it and continuing, even though you had a rough experience. I think it takes you know, a lot of guts, and it takes you know, a person that has a real passion to continue forward after something like that.
And we still continue offering utility till this day. I mean, that's a big thing for us. I mean, I think our NFT was cheap. I think it was like $50, and it came with all kinds of stuff. But it was for our early supporters to help us launch our Discord because we needed some funds. And you know, the people came through, and still till this day, we reward our early adopters. We also have a subscription through our channel. People can get an M3 through that. But it was our early supporters that really helped us launch this. And they're sitting here till this day. Our early supporters are on this panel right now. There's a bunch of people moderating this chat right now. So it was a lot of fun. Now, when it comes to crypto, I'm pretty boring. I'm a buy and hold kind of guy. And so for me, like, there's not really much to it. Like, I'm a big stacks person. I'm in the stacks ecosystem a lot. I'm boring. I own a bunch of Bitcoin. So when it comes to crypto, I'm a buy and hold kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm very much the same way. Like I have like my little fun bags of just stuff that I'll just like, you know, dive into because I see like the analytics and the trends and the signals are going off, and I'll get into some of that stuff. But like I don't have time for it right now. I'm so busy. Buy and hold is like the best strategy for me. And like, yeah, I don't look at I've never actually sold an NFT before. I don't know what that's like. I just buy stuff and pick it up, or I get it gifted, and I just like hang on to it, support whenever I can. Whenever I'm not busy, whenever I'm just like in collector mode, I'll go and scour out and see what people are up to, and try to get the newest scoop and try to support different founders and different creatives. I think that's like the best way to do it.
I love that, man. We're all about support, and I really rock with the messages that you're saying. I resonate a lot with what you're trying to say. You got a call, guys.
That was my mom. I got to call her back right after this podcast. I'm talking to my mom in like a week.
Well, we're sorry, Mom, and we won't take any more of your time. But yeah, that was my question. That was my answers, man.
For me, I think just the whole idea of getting into NFTs, you know, I'm always still learning, so that's always like an experience for me that I like to learn more, and I still need to like find, you know, the best sources of information. And my husband Hinano, he's a big help in pointing me in the right direction. So yeah, going with him when we launched our NFT project, that was really cool, to just kind of be there, because he's like the one that's more of the creative mind. I'm like the one that's like, yay, you can do it, hun. Like I'm the supporter behind it. So that was really cool to see and actually like have it succeed, and people actually want to come out and, you know, support us. And then crypto wise, I'm slowly getting to like other crypto things. Like I said, I'm still learning. But I have been getting myself out there, coming out of my shell kind of thing, to be in more spaces on X, to like learn more from other people. And yeah, just to put a little bit in something and hold it and see where it goes, where it takes me. So yeah, I'm learning, and I continue to learn every day.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. It's the best space to just be able to try stuff out, experiment, and learn. And just like, yeah, you know, simple advice for anybody who's in learning: don't risk what you aren't willing to lose. I guess you know,
Yeah.
simple one, and have fun first and foremost. Right, try to have fun. Don't take it way too seriously.
It's the
Yeah.
main thing.
True.
Have fun. Mission.
Well, me per se, I'm just happy to be in this space. You know, I've met some amazing people in the NFT community, which has been awesome. So I'm in tons of projects all over the place. So I can't pinpoint one specific moment that was exciting to me. The whole space has been exciting to me. So I just applaud the growth in this space, and everyone somewhat working together, and hopefully we could just keep down the FUD and continue to progress as time go on. So that's basically it as far as NFTs. But crypto, I came over to NFT from the crypto side. I've been in crypto since late 2014, early 2015. So I've been here for a long time, just in the crypto space itself. So it's been a beautiful ride. I have no complaints at all about any of it. It taught me a lot. I lost a lot trading, but I've also gained a lot from not trading and trading. So it's been a roller coaster, but I'm still here, and it's been good throughout these years. So I really don't have no complaints about all the lessons that I learned along the way. So that's basically it. And thank you, and thank Hanano and Dee and Bones and Shane for serving on this panel with me for the first of the new year. So the first one of the new year. So applaud y'all, and God bless.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
I have so many NFTs and crypto, I don't even know where to begin. But I can pinpoint, because something that was like revolutionary to me is I came into this space because I'm a huge gamer, huge console gamer. I came into this space because I saw the potential in gaming from NFTs. I was one of the few. You know, it's crazy that not many people in the US and Canada have headsets yet. You know, I had an Oculus a few years now, and I saw the potential. And then when I found out about NFTs, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's like, I see it. NFT in gaming is going to be huge, and that is what is going to bring the masses. So my like most exciting moment would be Nifty Island, because Nifty Island is something that I've always wanted with NFTs, and to integrate all these communities into this one platform, and you can do so much, and it instantly brings utility to any NFT project. Even if you don't have VRMs, GLB files, you're the founder of a project, you create one. You can say like Goblin Town right now. They just have one. They have a token gated one. You play that one goblin, but that is enough. I see the value in an NFT that I can play with. That is value enough for me. And then on top of it, I met all these amazing people through all these projects. I joined probably 10 plus projects from Nifty Island. And I always looked at a kid called Beast, but I never jumped into it really. But then there was one day where Mimi was doing a space. She was on Discord, and we're on the island doing a giveaway for a Bit Beast. And that's how I came into a kid called Beast. I won a Bit Beast. I went into the portal. I hopped in. I looked at the floor at the time of a kid called Beast. And I'm like, what? The floor is this price? I'm like, the floor is, I had to grab one. I grabbed one. And I don't know if Hanano saw me grab one, if he was watching my wallet, but literally, Hanano, I think like an hour later, you grabbed a beast as well.
Not
Were you
even an
watching
hour.
them?
I think it was like within like 15 minutes. So, and I was the same thing. I was looking at the floor. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get one of these. They're so cheap right now. I've always wanted one, right? So,
Yeah, and I can say that we found the bottom for sure. We found the bottom of that, and yeah, NFTs and crypto from Nifty Island has I've learned so much, and because of Nifty Island, I've jumped in Blender, and because of a kid called Beast, I jumped in Blender. I've learned how to create. I'm not the best, but I'm still learning, and it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of communities I've just learned from and people I've met. It's a great experience, and I look forward to gaming with a kid called Beast now on your platform. I cannot wait for it.
Oh, dude, it's all about make 3D NFTs great again. Like
Yes.
if you were around in 2023 or 2024, you're like, oh man, worst thing ever. But now, it's turning around. People are starting to realize, like, holy crap, why didn't they do this the first time around? Things will look a lot different today, right? So yeah, I'm just really happy to see everybody interacting and playing and having fun and networking and learning new skills. That to me is the ultimate situation. You can definitely buy an NFT and hit the lotto for sure. That's a possibility too. Everybody's you can buy a coin and hit the lotto, right? There's a chance that could happen, right? It's not a guaranteed chance, but what is guaranteed is everyone has the capacity to learn new skills and learn valuable things that can take them to amazing places in life, whether that's through meeting the right person at the right time or just picking up a skill that you can use to generate a second income or an alternate income. Like 3D, I think, is one of those skills that is very, very valuable, because let's say, even if you're in a physically demanding job, like let's say, construction or something, you can only do that for so many years until eventually, your body gives out and you're not gonna be able to do that skill anymore. What's your fallback at that point, right? Having a backup, like being able to, sit and work on 3D, that's a much better situation for somebody at a later stage of a physically demanding career. So I highly think that there's a lot of value to stuff, and I've seen firsthand and I've witnessed people who've joined the community, learn how to do 3D, and they've made a significant supplementary income from the skills they've learned from their time starting out learning about the project to being able to like commission work for clients and earn significant income to better their lives and improve their lives and make their hobby free. I think there's a lot of cool benefits to getting involved.
Love it.
Nice. I guess that leaves me. I've been, as everybody was going, I was trying to think what mine was, and I almost don't want to say because it's going to sound corny because I'm on this show, but honestly, it's the NFT that you guys made of me that first time that I came on and we had our discussion. Because I've been in digital collecting for 3 years now, and it's fun. You collect, and then you look at them and you look at what their value turns into, and you can play with them in AR. But that was one of the first times that like an NFT was made out of caring, I guess. And it showed like it could be an expression of more than just this collectible thing. And I don't know, I never told you guys, but it meant an awful lot to me. So yeah, that was, yeah.
Well, it's not very good, but I mean,
Thank you, Shane.
It was good to me, and it meant a lot. So yeah. And as far as crypto, I really don't play in crypto very much. So
It's all
Awesome.
good.
Fair.
you, Shane.
And sometimes honestly, wise in some circumstances, right? I think like learning and understanding crypto takes it's a big learning curve, and there's a lot of mistakes to make before you start figuring out your way around. Like I think be prepared to lose if it's your first time in crypto and you're not getting a mentor or a lot of good help. I mean that's definitely been I've had that experience as well myself. That's why I'm just like like was said earlier, it's better to just hang on, learn, educate before you dive in head first in a lot of cases, especially if you're not a huge risk taker.
Well said.
100%. And guys, this has been the show. Rafsby, this has been an awesome conversation. We've had you for 2 hours, longer than
I
we
love the
thought we'd
style
have.
too of just like sitting on a panel, like 6 of us, and just talking and just bouncing around ideas. It's like it feels like just sitting at a living room having dinner and just chatting. Like
That's kind of like the format. Like
yeah, it's
this is
cool.
what
It's a
we do in
cool vibe.
Hawaii. We just want you to be comfortable. We want to have a vibe. We just want to have a nice, casual conversation. And you gave us all of this. Guys, we're running a giveaway right now. Enter hashtag 2025. And so Rafsby, Kid Arcade was one of the content creators that kind of got us into the Kid Called Beast. Besides Mission, who gave us our first beast, he gave us our first bit beast, but it was Kid Arcade that really got us into looking at the project. So we are giving away a Kid Arcade exclusive art piece tonight. And I'll show you guys what it looks like, because there is a beast that is in this picture right now. So right there on the very left, that is Kid Arcade's actual Kid Called Beast, along with all these other NFTs that he's drawn into, I guess, like the last mint right there. And then Rafsby, we also have a copy of this for you to give to you as well. So
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, man. So this is going to go to one of the lucky people in the chat, along with this Mona Lisa right here, which is also a Kid Arcade exclusive. So we got the last mint, and then we also have this. So 2 giveaways tonight, and then Rafsby, you're going to get one of the last mints as well. So and you can
Thank
reach
you
out
so
with
much.
Dee.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for the great
I love the
conversation.
Homer Bart Simpson choking on the far right. That's hilarious.
So, Rafsby, I kind of want you to just close it out. Final words while I get the giveaway tool ready.
I had a blast. This was a good conversation. Like, I didn't know what to expect. You never know what to expect. But no, you guys are an amazing group of people. And just really happy and honored that you guys brought me on to talk about one of my passions.
Yeah, thank you, Rafsby. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have you. And yeah, I saw the chats just going off. There's like so many people interested in the project, as well as the people who are who have, one of the beasts or maybe more than one. And they're just like agreeing with everything you've said, and it's just hyping us up even more, just to be like more involved in the project, at least for myself.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. No, I like, not everybody agrees with my perspective on things. People obviously, have their own ways of doing things. That's totally cool. It's the beauty of everybody coming together and having an opinion, and that opinion can also change over time too. I just I really love doing this. I really I spent a lot of time on this. This is one of my biggest passion projects it is my biggest passion project I've ever worked on. So I just want people to enjoy it. I want people to have a good time, and I'm doing my best. The whole team's doing their best. I have amazing, co-founders, amazing support. I couldn't ask for a better situation, especially like from a community perspective, and especially from a team perspective.
Let's go, guys. And with that being said, good luck. This is for the last mint, which has the Kid Called Beast, as well as some other characters. Good luck, everybody. Let's see who is the winner. We have Raven.
Hello, Canadian.
Congratulations to Raven.
Yo, that's nice. Sweet. That's a sweet little raffle system you guys got there.
Thank you. But we're not done yet. We got one more, guys. One more winner of the night. This is for the Mona Lisa, which is a Kid Arcade exclusive. Let's see who's the final winner of tonight. Good luck, fam.
Let's see.
Kryptoni.
There you go. Congrats,
brother. Congratulations. And that's the show, you guys. This has been an awesome conversation. We've been going at it for 2 hours. Thank you, chat. Thank you for the 700 plus people watching us right now between X and YouTube. Wow. Rafsby, this has been awesome. Thank you for coming on and giving us your time. We really appreciate that. Love the project. Love what you guys are doing, and love the insight you gave us. We've learned a lot today. And I can tell you right now that everyone in the chat below has been enjoying this conversation. Dee, close out the show.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here, tuning in to support. Thank you, Rafsby, again for your time. Thank you, Mission, Bones, Shane, for your time as well. Thank you guys for being here on our very first Aloha Friday show for the beginning of the year, kicking it off to a great start. And I just hope everybody has a great weekend. As I always say, be kind to one another and just support each other whenever and however you can.
Yeah, and Rafsby, open invitation. We tell this to everybody. Whenever you ever want to come on, whether it be for a topic like this, if you ever want to come and talk about beasts, or just kind of like congregate with your community, you're always welcome to come on. It's always an open invitation. We usually throw the link out in the chat for people to kind of like, interact with us as well. We're a community podcast, and that's kind of like what we try to do. We try to like help people out. We try to give out information, and we try to like at least perpetuate positivity in this space. So I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Maybe next time what we'll do is we'll do like a 3-on-3, and we'll battle it out in the video game, and we'll do some Team Madness live. That'd be fun, I think.
Oh
Go.
man, looking forward to that. And guys, with that being said, thank you so much. Take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one. Aloha.
Bye.
Bye.
So tune in every week and join the ride with a real uncommon podcast. And we're here to provide